Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Can you see a picture in front of you? Can you guess which topic you are going to learn today? Yes, today we are going to learn about photosynthesis in plants. Before learning about photosynthesis, we should know about autotrophic nutrition. What do you mean by that? Autotrophic nutrition mainly takes place in green plants, where it has a pigment called chlorophyll present in the cell organelle called chloroplast. It produces its own food using sunlight, chlorophyll, water and carbon dioxide. This process we call it as photosynthesis. So the photosynthesis, it takes place in a cell organelle called chloroplast, which is present only in plant cell. It converts light energy into chemical energy, that is its own food, carbohydrate, for growth, and it releases oxygen as a byproduct. Now, let us learn in detail about photosynthesis. Key components required for photosynthesis are chlorophyll pigment, stomata and xylem. Let us learn one by one. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment that captures light energy. This picture clearly shows the location of chlorophyll. It is present in the plant cell, in a cell organelle called chloroplast. In this picture, we can clearly see the presence of chlorophyll inside the cell organelle called chloroplast. You can see this chlorophyll pigment under the microscope. Next one is stomata. As we all know that stomata are the small pores present on the leaf surfaces. So under the microscope, we can see stomata like this. Stomata has the capacity to open and close by itself. So when the stomata is open, it traps the carbon dioxide and releases oxygen and water. So when the stomata is closed, there is no exchange of gases takes place. The next one is xylem. It is a plant vascular tissue which helps in the transport of water from roots to the leaves. In one video, we have in detail about the xylem. You can refer to this video to learn the structure of the xylem. The xylem has 4 elements: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. As we all know that transpiration means loss of water from the leaves. So once the water vapor is lost from the leaf surface through stomata, the water from the soil, it is pushed up to the leaves. And it is carried with the xylem vessel from the root to the top of the leaf. This picture clearly shows the microscopic structure of a dicot leaf. So under the microscope, if we place a thin slice of a dicot leaf, cross section of the dicot leaf, you can see these structures. So here, chloroplast is seen in this type of cell that we call as palisade parenchyma cells. Here you can see the dense amount of chloroplast present, where you can see the chlorophyll pigment. So in the lower portion, we can see the stomata, that is a opening. In the lower epidermal region of a leaf, you can see the opening which is called as stomata for gaseous exchange. And in the center, you can see the plant vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. And here xylem is responsible for the transport of water from roots to the leaves. Now, let us learn about the process of photosynthesis. What do you mean by that? As we all know that in a leaf, it has a cell organelle called chloroplast, and inside the chloroplast we have the green pigment chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is responsible for the absorption of light energy from the sun. So the light energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll pigment and it converted into chemical energy, that is the glucose, which is stored in the plant cell. It is the food for plants, glucose, and also it releases oxygen as byproduct. Now, how the glucose is formed? What are the raw materials required for the formation of the glucose? You can see here the raw materials are carbon dioxide, water. So the carbon dioxide combines with water by trapping the sunlight, and in the presence of chlorophyll it is converted into glucose C6H12O6, and oxygen is released as the byproduct. So this is the overall reaction of the photosynthesis. Now, there are some factors that affect the rate of photosynthesis in plants. They are light intensity, chlorophyll pigment, temperature, water, and carbon dioxide. As we all know that the raw materials for the photosynthesis are sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. If the light intensity increases, the chlorophyll in plant cells, it absorbs more light, so the rate of photosynthesis increases. The graph shows the rate of photosynthesis. So when there is more light, the rate of photosynthesis increases. When it reaches the optimum level, it is constant. So further increase in the photosynthesis, it depends upon the other factor, that is temperature or carbon dioxide. The second factor is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, it is present in a chloroplast. It is a green pigment, no? It can absorb the light. So blue, green and red parts of the spectrum that make up the white light. As we all know that a white light consists of 7 different colors. So the chlorophyll is useful in absorbing the blue, green and red parts of the light. Blue light is absorbed and red light is absorbed, and the green light is reflected. So only we see the color of leaves is green. So chlorophyll is a green pigment because the green part of the spectrum is reflected. The range of visible light is from 380 nanometer to 750 nanometer. So in this range only the chlorophyll pigment absorbs the light. And there are two types of chlorophyll, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So the chlorophyll A, it absorbs the light energy in the range between 400 to 500 nanometer. The chlorophyll B, it absorbs more light at the between the same thing, 400 to 500 nanometer. Can see the difference. So the presence of chlorophyll, it helps in the absorption of more sunlight. And the rate of photosynthesis increases if a plant has both chlorophyll A and B. So if a plant has chlorophyll A, the rate of photosynthesis becomes constant soon. So it attains the optimum thing very soon when compared to the chlorophyll B. Okay, because it absorbs more light, so that the rate of photosynthesis also increases. And the third one is temperature. So the ideal temperature, it is essential for photosynthesis to take place. So once the temperature reaches its optimum, the rate of photosynthesis declines. Why it is declining? Because when the temperature exceeds, the enzymes which are working in the photosynthesis, it decreases rapidly as the enzyme begins to denature. Fourth factor is the water. So water is an essential raw material for photosynthesis. The rate of photosynthesis, it also decreases when there is too much of water in the soil, that is known as waterlogging. And the rate of photosynthesis also will decline when the soil dry out and if there is no water supply. Why it is decreasing? Because when there is no water, the plant will close its stomata to prevent further water loss and therefore prevent the uptake of carbon dioxide. So there is decrease in photosynthesis. As we all know that carbon dioxide is an important raw material for photosynthesis, and when the stomata is open, it absorbs more number of carbon dioxide. When it is closed, there is no chance for gaseous exchange. So when there is more absorption of carbon dioxide, the rate of photosynthesis increases. But when there is low level of carbon dioxide, the rate of photosynthesis is minimum. Do you understand about the photosynthesis and the factors affecting that? Thank you. Thank you for listening and happy learning.